As the lights dimmed on the London stage, Sam Heughan stepped out, his face pensive but confident. He was about to have an intimate chat with his fans, but no one expected that, in that moment, Sam would decide to reveal a secret about his career that he had never shared before. He began in a warm, slow voice. "There are moments in life when you don't know you're at a crossroads. And then, one deal changes everything." The audience fell silent. Everyone expected Sam to talk about the Outlander contract, the show that made him a global star. But Sam shook his head, smiling knowingly. "It wasn't Outlander. It was the show that brought me to the public eye, but what really changed my life was another deal. A deal that few people know about." In 2012, 2 years before he was cast as Jamie Fraser, Sam was on the verge of quitting acting, he says. Failed auditions, mounting debts, and the loneliness of living in London were wearing him down. Then, a small Scottish company offered him a job as the face of a tourism campaign to promote his homeland. It didn't sound like a huge opportunity, but the deal offered Sam something valuable: the chance to return home, reconnect with his beloved Scotland, and discover himself. "They didn't pay me much. But they gave me something more important: they trusted me. They let me tell the story of Scotland in my own voice. And as I stood in the Highlands, talking about the history, the people, I realized, this is why I want to be an actor. Not to be famous, but to tell stories." Sam paused, his eyes shining with emotion. It was during the time working on that project that Sam honed his acting skills, his ability to connect with audiences, and especially his deep love for his roots. And from there, he was noticed by an Outlander producer, opening up the opportunity to transform into Jamie Fraser, the role that defined his career. "Without that little deal, I probably would have given up on my dream. I wouldn't have Outlander, I wouldn't have the amazing fans, I wouldn't have the journey I'm on. It really changed my life." The audience applauded loudly. Many couldn't hold back their tears. Because they realized, behind the halo of a star are countless moments that seem meaningless but contain the power to change fate. Sam continued to share that that deal not only shaped his career, but also shaped who he is today. "It taught me humility. It reminded me that success doesn't come from million-dollar contracts, but from taking chances, no matter how small. And most importantly, it gave me the confidence to never give up." He recounted a memory of filming in a small village with a travel film crew. An old man came up to shake his hand and said, "Young man, you have made us proud." Those simple words, to Sam, were more valuable than any award. Katrina Balfe, a close co-star, when hearing the story, smiled. "I always thought of Sam as a warrior. Now I understand, his strength does not come from physical strength, but from the experiences that have shaped him into the person he is today." When the conversation ended, Sam left the audience with a message: never underestimate small opportunities. Because sometimes, they open the biggest doors in your life. He left the stage to a standing ovation. And the fans left with a newfound belief that lives can change with just one moment, one decision, one seemingly small deal. For Sam Heughan, it was a turning point that defined not just his career, but his life. Sam Heughan sits in a quiet room in Edinburgh, where he retreats when he needs to collect his thoughts. Outside, the wind blows in from the Scottish Highlands, carrying the scent of earth, grass, and memories. He leans back in his chair, closes his eyes, and lets the memory of that deal come rushing back to him like a movie on rewind. The deal wasn't just a contract, Sam said in a recent interview, it was like a door. "Once I walked through it, I knew there was no going back." He recalls the day the Outlander contract was placed before him. At that time, Sam was just an actor struggling through countless small roles, not leaving his mark. The failed auditions, the long waits in the casting room made him wonder many times if he was on the right path. But when the Outlander script arrived, something clicked inside him, a feeling he later described as a calling. At first, I was scared, Sam admits. I was scared of failure, scared that I wouldn't be able to handle a character as complex as Jamie Fraser. But at the same time, I knew this was the opportunity I'd been waiting for my whole life. When Sam signed the deal, he had no idea it would become a milestone that would change everything. The show not only brought him global fame, but also gave him a family, both on screen and off. Katrina Balfe, his closest co-star, became his soulmate. Without that deal, I probably would never have met Katrina, Sam gushed. She's the best partner I've ever had, however, with the glory came darkness. The deal also meant giving up his privacy, his freedom, and sometimes his very self. Many nights, Sam faced tremendous pressure from the public, from a tight schedule, and even harsh criticism. I was tested to the core, he says. There were times when I was really exhausted. But then I thought about that door, about the moment I chose to walk through, and I knew I couldn't give up. Sam admits that if he could go back, he would still choose to sign the deal, because it opened up the opportunity for him to become the best version of himself. He learned to stand firm, learned to face the criticism, and learned to deeply love the fans who have always been by his side. My life is divided into two parts, Sam says slowly. Before Outlander and after Outlander. And that line was the agreement I signed. It changed me, not just my career, but my whole being. Today, when Sam looks back on the journey he has taken, he no longer feels the fear of the young man he was. Instead, he feels pride and gratitude. He knows that, no matter where the future takes him, that fateful door will forever be the most important chapter in his life.